Hello, and welcome to another, what is this, episode? Yeah, we go with episodes of Direct to Review. Once again, it's your favorite person in the whole wide world, Leonard, and then two other people whom I don't even care to introduce this time.
Wow.
I'm Celeste, and I'm more important than Leonard.
And then we also have Alena over here.
And I'm just here.
She's just here because Trevor keeps abandoning us. And, we go for our third option.
You know what? At this point, I feel like Trevor doesn't exist. Okay?
Yeah, you know what? This is just our show now.
We made him up.
It's fine.
So I think we need to just scratch out that drawing.
Trevor?
All right, we'll have a character drawn of you soon.
All right.
So it'll be great. All right, so once again, it's your favorite foreign film show. I didn't know that was a thing.
Until right now.
Till right now. It is Foreign Film Friday. And this time around, we are reviewing a kind of not foreign-esque film.
Right.
It is foreign.
It's the least foreign film that we've ever reviewed.
Has it? How many foreign films have you reviewed
How many
thus
has
far?
it been now? 4?
It's
5?
only been like 4 or 5.
Okay.
Somewhere around that. I think this one's number 5.
We didn't have subtitles for this one.
We didn't have to read. It was the best part about the movie.
Yes.
No, actually, this movie was amazing. It is Moonwalkers that was made in 2015, starring, of course, Hellboy, Mr. Ron Perlman, Rupert Grint of Harry Potter fame,
Ron Weasley.
yes, and then a couple other actors we have no clue who they are.
Leon.
Yes, Leon. I don't know who Leon
Whoever
is.
that guy is in real life. Not sure.
So, this movie is all based around Ron Perlman's character, who is named Kidman. Agent Kidman works for the CIA, and he is tasked with going and finding Stanley Kubrick to fake the moon landing because they don't have any confidence that they're actually going to land on the moon. And then when he actually gets to Britain to do this, Rupert Grint's character, Johnny, scams him into thinking that he's the agent representing
Stanley Kubrick. Yeah.
And he gets his very drug-addled friend Leon, who is played by Robert Sheehan, who is, by the way, I was lost in his eyes the entire time.
He was beautiful.
He was a beautiful man.
Was he?
Yes.
I thought so.
You know, I may have to disagree.
Get out.
Just at this point.
Okay, well, he was a beautiful soul. How about that? Everybody got that one? Okay, good.
I can agree with that.
All right. Well, anyways, obviously, Leon is not Kubrick, and Ron Perlman is not happy. Goes through killing a bunch of people, and by the end, they really don't succeed in any which way.
You don't think so?
No, I mean, they survive.
Absolutely.
That's a way of succeeding.
Yes.
Living.
Being alive by the end of the film, I think that's a win.
It's how everyone feels at the end of the day after work.
Yeah.
I'm alive, therefore I win.
Exactly.
My boss did not win today. Mine
Is
kind
your
of
boss trying to kill you?
Yeah.
Or
often.
Oh. I don't want to work with you.
Anyway.
Wait a minute.
So, all right, let's get down to brass tacks on this. What did we think of this film?
Loved it.
Yeah, actually, I was interested the entire time.
Right? It was just a good film. It was funny. It had good heart to it. I think some of the best moments was just when Ron Perlman's character, Kidman, would interact with Leon. Whether it was Leon getting him high or if it was Kidman acting like a dick to Leon, it was just awesome straight through. Like, it was just well done.
I think
Very
I
well
agree
done.
with that. I concur.
It was so 60s.
It was.
I love it.
You just you go ahead and mention the part that you love. Let's be honest.
Okay, so they go to this house.
We're gonna skip the whole part where we actually
Right.
talk about the
go
movie.
to this house, and the door is actually the woman's private areas. Let's give it PG. It's her vagina. And,
That's clinical. It's fine.
Yeah.
and
We have an explicit rating for safety. It's
her
fine.
touching the doorway, and that's how you get into the house.
Betwixt the legs.
Betwixt. I officially like
Classy
saying
AF.
betwixt, so that was great. Fantastic.
And then, wait, tell us what happens after you've entered the doors. Please explain that in thorough
She
detail.
doesn't need to explain that.
Oh, all right. Oh, sorry. I thought that was okay.
I mean, can if you want.
You should probably explain it now that she's brought it up.
Now you've got everyone's
But we
attention.
have to leave some stuff to
Left
the
to the imagination?
imagination.
Okay.
You have to give them a reason to watch the film.
We'll leave that blank then.
Yeah. So watch the film for just the doors. After that, turn it off. You don't have
Yeah.
to care
That's
anymore.
all you need.
Anyway, so this movie, I mean, beyond character development, really great. Obviously, Rupert Grinson, really good actor. I mean, obviously, he didn't get to really stretch his legs with the Harry Potter series because I didn't know he could be that good.
Right. We think of him as that nerdy,
Ron Weasley.
wizard.
Yeah, I mean, that was it. He was Ron Weasley. He was the one that gets with Hermione, which still doesn't make sense to me,
Right,
but we'll
agreed.
get into that
That makes
some
no
other-
logical sense.
But you haven't seen them.
I have
What?
seen the
She
last.
hasn't seen them.
Okay, I've seen the second one.
That's okay.
I've seen the first one.
Okay.
And I've seen the last two. So
That's
I'm
kind
in
of like
this.
how I did it with the show. What is that show that was big on Netflix? He's a teacher. He makes like.
Breaking Bad.
Thank you. Couldn't think of it.
Wait, you didn't watch Breaking
what?
Bad?
I've seen the first episode of Breaking Bad, maybe the second one, a couple episodes in between seasons, and then the very final episode.
That's disturbing.
Let me tell you, I tried 3 times to get through the first episode.
You know what? Okay, here's the thing, though, with Breaking Bad, to get off topic for a second.
Right.
It is a difficult show to get into.
Exactly.
It takes about 4 episodes in before it really, picks up.
That's 3 episodes too long for me.
I want to be invested now.
Yeah.
Well,
Short attention span.
well, you don't have to worry about that with this movie because right off the bat, you're invested.
Yes.
You don't even know what's going on at that point. You just know that he constantly has flashbacks, which are more
Nam.
disturbing in some ways than Honeymoon.
Yes.
because it's just they're rotting. They have bugs in their eyes.
Maggots, and they look like zombies in a way.
Yeah, and it was very disturbing because they'd just be standing there staring and judging him.
And he was
kinda
basically
like
having
when I look in a
PTSD.
mirror.
Oh, wow. Leonard.
Accurate.
Oh,
Oh,
that's a sad sick.
But it's so accurate. I don't even know.
but
You
and
need
then,
some water? Cold
no,
water?
I'm good. Anyways, so obviously Rupert Grint's character is playing some sort of. Is he like a manager? He's supposed to be like a band's manager, like
Yes.
a failing band
Yes.
manager, and he when we first meet him, he's running away from a mob, which we still don't know why. Because
He
it was
owes
said
them
He
very
had a
initially.
large sum of money that he
Yeah.
borrowed, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's the other part. But I'm saying, when we first meet
Oh,
him,
right. We don't
there's
know
that
what his
mob
deal is.
of, yuppies going after them,
Yeah.
trying to kill them. They're
yeah.
super drunk and bloodied. I don't understand why. But it doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't matter. He
It doesn't
screwed
matter.
up as
Yeah.
their manager.
Exactly. Well,
But-
in the beginning, I feel like I didn't know what I was getting myself into, as always. But I'm okay with
That's
that.
good.
I appreciate the shock factor of things when I start to watch a movie, and this one in particular happened to start off, of course, with flashbacks to Nam, but with a weird kind of darkness to it, of course, which it is not a good time to talk about. But I thought, oh, this is about them going to the moon, but we're obviously in the forests in Vietnam. So I'm
Fighting
like, why,
the Viet Cong for
why
some
are
reason.
we here?
And then he's in his pajamas because
Yes.
he's having a flashback and destroying his apartment, which is a very dark way to start it. But it's pretty much
Yeah.
the only moment where you really have a dark, really deeply
And the
dark
zombies.
character.
And the zombies, yeah.
Zombie flashbacks.
Zombie flashbacks are pretty bad, but they kind of break up the film's absolute weirdness
Mm-hmm.
with a shock of reality, which is actually kind of nice.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. But we should talk about the very, very, very first scene. The very first time we really get introduced to the weirdness of the entire movie.
Uh-huh.
Just the opening credit sequence
How it was
of
very
the
artistic.
psychedelic boobs as
Nixon
muscles
farting.
Yeah.
and Nixon farting flames, and that right off the bat, that set it up. It's
Yeah.
like we're watching a 60s film right here. This is what's happening.
Absolutely. So, yeah, okay. For the very first 25, 30 seconds, you get locked in because you're just intrigued by the
Oh, yeah.
colors.
Or you're completely turned off because you're your sensibility
Exactly.
What
is just
another
gone.
hippie film.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we got to obviously talk about it. This movie brings up the fact that there are many people, including in this room, that have differing opinions about the moon landing.
Alena said she never
Wait.
didn't believe in the moon
Right. I never
landing.
did or didn't believe in it because obviously I have never been to the moon myself.
Right.
Obviously it is.
How lame.
I know, right? Of all people, me not go to the moon.
Right,
It's-
you should be there every weekend.
I should have.
You
Right.
should have. Well,
Well, so I asked you before we started this, do you guys believe that we landed on the moon? And the only reason I say this is my mother.
okay.
Gotta blame
Okay.
the woman that birthed me.
Blame the mother. Fine.
Yes, because she seems to question whether or not we went and landed on the moon. And so, of course, growing up, you're not sure what to believe. Your mom's not lying to you.
Well, you know what? That's a lot of people. That's a lot of
Yes.
people. They really do believe that we didn't go. But I mean, let's break down the science just for like a brief second.
Okay.
For like a moment, a millisecond.
All right.
I'm already bored.
That
I know you're
second
gonna
has
be bored.
passed.
I'm just gonna mention the light portion because this movie actually
Yes,
does
that is the big.
right. So this movie kind of points out, they paint the whole thing black and they have this light that's going straight across. Since this is a podcast, I can't use my hands or any kind of visual expression.
Use your words.
But let's talk about a vertical plane. Okay, vertical, horizontal plane. Now, where we are in terms of our placement in a room and light when it hits us, no matter what, that it will either
Creates a
expand,
shadow.
it either expand our shadow or reduce it depending on how far away it's going. It eventually diverges, right? Now, if you look
Using
at the
some
moon,
meteorological terms here. Sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead.
now if you take a look at the moon landing's actual shadows, everything is on an even plane, straight across. Mm-hmm. Now, maybe recently, not intentionally, because I didn't know I was watching this, but I get curious about things, and I watched a little thing about, okay, if they were going to fake it,
Yes.
how are they going to fake that
Right.
light? They would need thousands of lasers back in 1969
Okay.
that are multicolored, focused in a perfect beam straight across, which they didn't have the technology
All right.
and they didn't have the ability.
That you know of.
Yeah.
So you're saying,
Government
They're
thing.
so
secret.
you're saying the government created
The
a bunch
government.
of $1 trillion lasers.
I mean, back then it was
For a
probably only
crazier
$1 billion.
things have happened.
No, actually, laser technology was so far off at that point that they would have had to have all of their scientists working day in, day out, trying to manufacture these things, which they weren't very good at making lasers in the first place.
Were they lasers then? Are lasers
That's the
the
thing.
only solution?
Yes, because it's about the way that the light falls. Now,
Did
you
you,
have to
see
take.
this on the internets?
I saw this on the internets and in books.
That means
Books.
it's true.
Reads them.
But anyways, so postulating this, right? So you
Yes.
have to take a look at the way the moon landing's actual light falls, right? So it's straight, no diverging shadows.
Technically, you should not have a shadow, is what you're telling me.
No, not that you shouldn't have a shadow, but that the shadow doesn't diverge, doesn't fall apart. It doesn't expand in the way that it would on Earth. Because sun's pointing from the west, then, our shadow is pointing in the opposite direction and it starts going outwards.
Where is this light coming from?
Exactly. Where is the light coming from? It's coming from the sun.
Billions of stars?
No, it's
Okay.
coming from the sun.
The sun.
It's coming from the sun, but it's parallel. It's not above, it's not below.
Okay.
Because of the way the moon sits, so it would make an even plane. It's the only way you could get it. That's my opinion. Only my opinion.
Aliens.
Everybody's got one.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Landed on the moon,
Aliens, yes.
recorded
Or it's
it,
aliens.
sent it back to us.
Mm-hmm.
The government was involved. Aliens. History
boy.
Channel original.
That's for another
Absolutely.
podcast. All right. So this movie was filmed in France and Belgium, but it was entirely in English, which was extremely nice for me because I sometimes read slow and I miss things.
Me
and
too.
I'm like, who was that?
What'd they
Totally
say?
got it.
Oh.
Looks back. Oh, I was wrong. So it kind of feels like it was made for an American audience straight up, but the only thing I can find in box office is Turkey.
What? Wow.
And it came
Well, it
out
came
in
out-
2017.
No. Okay, so That's inaccurate because
Okay,
I read
good.
some other stuff.
Good.
It came out in Korea. It came out in
Japan. I see
Everywhere but
Japan.
the United States. Is
No,
that...
it came out here too
okay.
because it premiered at the South by Southwest Film Festival.
Goals. Want to go there? If anybody's listening and wants to give me tickets, do so.
Feel free.
I'm not even going to bother trying to say the director's name.
It
Stanley
was his
Kubrick?
debut.
No,
Debut.
this guy.
Director. Oh, the director. Sorry, I was
That director.
the
What I'm
legendary
pointing at.
director.
Yes.
Oh my bad. Antoine Barlou-Jacquet.
There we go. Okay.
That sounds right.
I don't
That
know.
sounds good enough.
Yeah,
That's close, I'm sure.
that's as close as we'll get. Unless there's a pronunciation, maybe.
There is not. In fact, he has 3 films.
Oh,
One's a short, and
And-
the other's a short. Okay, so this is the only major film, and there's no picture of him.
he must not be a big deal yet.
No, but he's
Just
getting
give him
there.
time. Give him
because
time.
this was a great movie. Highly recommend it. Obviously, I'm going to say that because it's just
Now-
hilarious.
Take a look at the poster.
For all of you that can't look at it,
Yes.
go to IMDb.
And take a look at this.
Let's pause for a moment. Let them go to the IMDb page.
All right. Is there enough time now?
Yeah, that's good enough. Okay.
Okay.
You're
So-
at the IMDb page.
I just want you to see this and say, you know, it looks like a Stanley Kubrick film.
I'm going
be
to try and
completely
describe
honest-
it. It's yellow. It's super psychedelic.
And he certainly makes the weird movies.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, A Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
It kinda
2000
reminds-
Even 2001 Space Odyssey. I mean, the whole
Yes.
baby opening sequence thing.
It's...
That's literally anybody can ever say
Is
about
that the
Kubrick.
one with the camera?
Specific.
Not camera. The, like, robot that's like...
Hal? Yeah, yeah.
That's Hal. Oh. Okay. That's another story.
Uh-oh.
Story time.
Story time with Alena.
I don't know. We'll talk about that.
Story
Another
time
time.
with Alena. No, you've
it
already
would
said
take
it.
me a
Set it
moment
up.
well, it's not a very good story. It's just...
We're still here for it.
All right, you guys are still here. Let me see if I can find this image and pull it up. Now, should we... How do we share the image after this has been... I don't think that's possible.
I tell you what. I'll figure out a way to
Okay.
share this image.
So, long story short, my boyfriend told me about this movie. And the song is very iconic, the theme song from A Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
Okay, along with that, I'm like...
Mars. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing about it.
That's great. I have never seen this movie just yet. I just know about that one part where he's like tells that person, "I can't do that, Dave," or whatever.
yeah.
The creepy tone. So that's all I know from the movie. And just so happens he made a meme to scare me because he has a projector lens, and now he points it directly in his camera when we Skype. And he's like, "I can't do that, Alena," and I just freaks me out now. So I don't think I'll ever be able to watch that movie for that
It's a good
reason.
movie. It's worth
You
it.
should probably try it.
It's worth
Okay,
it.
all right.
Yeah, definitely watch that. I mean,
That's
okay.
on my list. Certainly.
Okay, so obviously this is based in '69. So, okay.
There it is.
Yeah.
Messed up.
We may need
Does
to-
that. Anyway.
We're going to post that on our Facebook page. Anyways. Because you have to see it.
Okay.
Anyways, so this is based in 1969. So obviously Kubrick is like the top of the top.
Yes.
I don't know why you would go for Kubrick when even he, during that time making 2001, he said that, you know, if you noticed it was a movie, then we failed. Like that was his whole thing.
Yes.
So anyway, that's like a small.
It's a
weird
movie
portion.
of them making a movie of
Exactly.
him. It's a very,
Very art house.
yes.
But at the same time, it's a great comedy. Only an hour, 47 minutes. It's
Not
it's
too
worth
long.
Your time.
Yes.
It's worth your time. So Celeste, do you recommend it?
I'm gonna give this.
Oh, we're gonna do ratings. So
Yep, I'm gonna rate it.
I don't have any.
Rotten
I'm gonna
Tomatoes.
give this 5 hippies and an orgy.
Wow. Is that a
That's-
good rating?
We still don't know. Our rating system varies.
What is your rate?
My rating:
Yeah.
3 Hellboys and 2 wizards.
Oh, I was going to say 4 Hufflepuffs and a Slytherin.
Is that good?
It's great.
Nobody knows.
Well,
Hufflepuff.
I
who
liked
knows?
it.
yeah.
Okay, we have to talk about November really quick before we wrap up here
Sure.
because November is going to be a freaking amazing month for movies and for anybody that's a movie goer.
Just movies, not lives.
Yeah, not
I'm
lives.
kidding.
Lives are.
Yeah. Well, sore subject.
One person in this room turns a year older.
Leonard's
Could it be
birthday
you?
is coming up. He's going to turn old.
Shut up. Anyways.
20 old.
105.
20 old. Yeah. Anyway, so obviously today's Thursday, even though we're recording our Friday one. But today, Thor Ragnarok came out, which obviously everyone needs to go see, like, now.
Yeah.
Because
Like
it's amazing.
yesterday.
Yeah.
There's
All
really
the
cool.
gold bloom.
You got to have Jeff Goldblum. You got to have that in your life. I want a big picture of him over my bed, but
Okay.
yeah.
Me too.
We'll work on that. And of course, Murder on the Orient Express, the remake of the absolute classic film, but with a cast that is absolutely bananas crazy because of just. I mean, hold on, I gotta pull up the names here because it's literally everyone I've ever wanted to get lost on an island with.
Wow.
Penelope Cruz. Does that happen often?
Oh, well, I don't know about her. Anyway, so
But everything but her.
everything but her.
Okay.
Did I click on the right one? Oh yeah, Kenneth Branagh. What's his name? I always forget it. The one that played Olaf.
Olaf? Oh,
Josh
the guy.
Gad?
Josh Gad. Yes.
Yes.
Daisy Ridley is in it from the Star Wars films, the newer ones. Yes.
That's Leonard's crush.
A little bit.
Is
yeah.
it?
Oh yeah. Come on now.
Kate Beckinsale's my crush.
She's not in this.
Okay, well, then it's not a good movie.
Oh damn.
Not here.
So IMDb doesn't put things in the order that I would like them to, so I've just got to search. Johnny Depp. What's
What?
Johnny Depp doing in there?
Apparently as an Edward Ratchet.
Oh. Okay. And then of course Penelope Cruz. Does anybody just like think about Penelope Cruz ever?
No.
Okay.
No.
I
Yeah.
didn't think so. I wasn't like, how many people are like giant fans of Penelope Cruz?
But you know who she is, so she's winning.
I guess.
At the end of the day, she certainly is.
Yeah. Anyways, just an incredible amount of people. Honestly, I can't even see with our new monitors because they're so far away. So if you see someone else, shout it out.
That screen's a little too far for me. Can't read.
I can't do this. This is failing. Anyways, go see it. The original one is amazing. I would highly recommend that too. But of course, older films are not everyone's forte.
Which is interesting because a lot of the newer films are clearly just replicas of older films.
Exactly, but we always
But
have to
better.
Put it,
Oh.
we always have to put it
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
in the way
yes.
that modern people like them. That's the thing.
That's because people can appreciate the older things.
Noirs, you gotta love them. Anyway, so Justice League is coming out this month. I have been waiting for that. In fact, I have made it mandatory for people to go see it on my birthday. It's not mandatory, but I think it should be. Coco is coming out, new Disney film. We got The Darkest Hour, which is about World War II. What's his name? Gosh dang it, you can see it. Winston Churchill. There we go.
Yes.
Winston Churchill's whole rise to power. And of course, Gary Oldman, the chameleon himself, is playing Winston Churchill, which half people didn't even know that it was him until they announced it. And then one that is actually a documentary on Hedy Lamarr, which most
I
people
didn't
don't know
know.
who that is.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fine,
She's,
because a lot of people still don't know who that is.
it's before my time.
This is before a lot of people's times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Unless you're like 50. Just kidding.
50, more like 70.
Yeah.
Maybe
You need to
80.
be-
Yeah.
Maybe dead.
Probably dead.
No longer existent.
Yeah, but you know who she is. But of course, also, I think last month, LBJ came out, so you got that you can go see right now. The Man Who Invented Christmas is also coming out, which is about Charles Dickens and the journey into the Christmas Carol. So, it's just going to be a good month for movies. And then, of course, next month, Star Wars.
Star Wars!
There you go. That's
What?
all you need.
It's just all this leading up to what is probably going to be slightly disappointing.
Oh.
Oh.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie, guys.
Are you going to cry when Carrie Fisher is on screen?
Yes.
Oh, I've already
Hard.
been crying. Every time the trailers come on, I'm like, oh, I can't even, too soon.
Too soon.
Yes, can't see pictures of her. No, I think I'll be fine. But the thing that worries me is I think they're turning Luke evil or they're turning Rey evil. Now, I'm okay with Rey being evil, but Luke, that hits
Too
hits
close
the
to home.
feels.
Yeah.
That hits the feels. But they just released a trailer today, a brand new one.
Oh.
That, a little bit of nostalgia, they had Luke going into the cockpit of the Millennium Falcon. And
Okay.
it just lighting up for him. And I'm like, oh, of course you can do that. And then they show Carrie Fisher. I'm like, oh.
And then it just
1-2 punch and I
at
was
all
done.
the hearts.
My heart.
Oh my goodness.
God.
It's all right. That's a big deal for people. I know. Lots of folks.
Not
Yeah.
for you, though. I am.
No,
hearing.
I enjoy the Star Wars movies. I'm just not an obsessive fan like that. I think they're great, and I will watch them. I just don't have a particular opinion whether I'm obsessed or not. I can appreciate them.
I'm middle ground.
Yeah,
I honestly just look forward to movies because I absolutely love movies.
me for.
So it's just, it's more of like I'm looking forward to the experience and praying that the experience is going to
Right.
be worth it.
Of course.
That the anticipation is not going to be really disappointing, like, prom nights and stuff like that.
Oh
Just
yeah.
yours.
Just mine.
Mine was a little disappointing too. It's all right.
Was yours spent sitting at home wondering why you're at home?
Oh
There you go.
well,
I win. I mean, I lose,
I
but
didn't know this
win.
was a DMC.
Yeah. Don't know what that means.
That's all right. I'll tell you after.
Okay. Anyways, anybody got any recommendations for streaming movies or TV shows? Not necessarily that are specific.
Available on Netflix.
Since or Amazon or Hulu or
Crackle, if you like it. VRV.
Oh.
if you
Crunchyroll, if you're into anime.
Why are you looking at me? Is it 'cause
well,
I'm
you
Asian?
mentioned it.
I'll recommend that movie then. I'll say it right now.
Go for it.
Look at me. Okay, wait, don't look at me. Now I'm nervous. All right, so there's this one part in the movie where there's a spider, of course, in this Moonwalkers type film. And it reminded me of this, I guess, evil character in this movie called Princess Mononoke, which is clearly an anime. It's from the Studio Ghibli films, I believe. It's one of my favorites by, gosh, why can't I think of this director's name right now? He's super famous, and I'm just losing at this point.
Not the one that did Spirited Away or anything.
I
like that,
think
is
it's the same company / I can't remember now. Oh no, I'm failing. Don't let the people know.
Don't tell.
it? Don't
tell.
let them know. Let's see. Silence. There's silence. There should never be silence.
Oh my gosh, I don't know. I can't see.
Is that one? That's it.
Yes, Hayao Miyazaki.
Well, no.
Do that so well.
Yeah,
You must be
that's it.
Asian.
There it is.
So good.
Okay.
Oh, I think I have seen that.
You have, where the guy gets infected.
Yes.
Such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
I have not, so maybe I'll give it a go. I haven't even seen Spirited Away.
Such a good movie.
Actually, I have
Such
never
a good
seen
movie.
any Hayao Miyazaki
Oh my gosh.
films.
Hayao Miyazaki
He's brilliant.
One of the best.
at this anime stuff. There's also
Howl's Moving Castle.
Howl's Moving Castle is my favorite.
Okay.
Okay, so I've already
Everyone-
just suggested several of his films, but Princess Mononoke for sure, and then Kiki's Delivery Service.
Kiki's Delivery
Do we
Service.
need to start an anime podcast?
Maybe.
Yes.
Ooh, we'll watch Black Butler.
then it
And
might be a lot of
The
Sailor
Good
Moon.
Death Note.
And Inuyasha. But okay.
Okay, so I'm guessing that's a recommendation.
No, I have another one.
Okay, what's that?
So, if
Tell
you
us.
are excited about The Darkest Hour with Winston Churchill, there is a show on Netflix called The Crown.
Oh, yes.
It's so good. The second season comes out December 8th. Basically, it is Queen Elizabeth II and how she came to be the queen. And it's this portion of it is the beginning segments of her being queen. So kind of stumbling around that.
I have not seen this one.
It's
So I might check it
real
out.
good. And second season comes out December 8th. But after the second season, they're bringing on a new actress
Do you know who
to
this-
play. We don't know. We're not supposed to know who it is yet. But they're bringing on another actress to play Queen Victoria in the other stage of her life.
Okay.
I mean, Queen Elizabeth. You know, there's only two names. So, really good. Second season out, December 8th on Netflix.
You'd think that we were paid by Netflix.
Hey.
It's literally just the easiest way for us to find things.
Also,
I mean,
they have real high quality shows.
this is true.
This is true. They have 4K stuff. Not that I have a 4K television,
neither.
We
but
don't.
I mean, it's just good to know, you know.
So, okay, I have one, but it's not one that I've watched yet. Because it's
How
not...
can you recommend a
How are
movie
you gonna
haven't
recommend
Okay,
watched?
there's a reason why. There's a reason why. I'm getting to it. Both of you are being very judgy. They don't have it on here. Anyways, okay. So it's actually a Netflix documentary. It's called Jim and Andy. Actually, there's a really long title apparently that I am not going to. The Great Beyond, featuring a very special contractually obligated mention of Tony Clifton.
Wow.
Okay.
Say that 10 times fast.
That's weird. Anyways, so this is one of my all-time favorite movies is Man on the Moon, which is a Jim Carrey film about Andy Kaufman. Andy Kaufman being an actor from the 70s who was insane. He was a shock actor, let's put it that way. When he wasn't on Taxi or playing another role on TV, he would actually go out and stage fights, fake having illnesses. He would go on talk shows and cause major problems, like get into fights with people.
Why?
He was absolutely insane because he loved the reactions.
I don't
He
like people
thought-
like that.
he
He's
thought it
like
was
the
hilarious.
OG troll.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love the reaction.
So Andy Kaufman apparently was a big influencer on Jim Carrey. Now, anybody who knows Jim Carrey now, as he said in one interview recently, he was lucky enough to get to play the role of Jim Carrey. And he feels very lucky because now he's all namaste and he's basically namasteing out of the whole comedy thing now. But he said that, Andy Kaufman was a big thing for him. He was a spiritual guide for him because he was the same way. He's a transcendentalist just like Jim Carrey is. But anyway, so Netflix is putting out Jim and Andy coming November 17th. And it is supposed to be all of the hidden stuff that was all saved from the making of Man on the Moon. So like behind the scenes, all of this stuff that Jim Carrey went through to actually make the film, and his whole connection to Andy Kaufman. And the reason I really want to see is first, this is the first thing Jim Carrey's done in a long time, other than weird talk show things that just make you feel super uncomfortable. And another thing is,
He lost me after Bruce Almighty, so I don't know what, anything after that, I don't know.
So another thing is the man that I have pulled up currently on screen is in a very weird paisley salmon-colored shirt, right?
Blazer thing.
It's a blazer, I guess.
Coat? Suit coat? I don't-
Anyways, this is Tony Clifton.
Oh.
Let me tell you about Tony Clifton. Tony Clifton is Andy Kaufman. Now, that is a theory, of course, because Andy Kaufman died of cancer in the 80s.
Supposedly.
But because
What?
he created a whole fictional person that he would go out and perform as, known as Tony Clifton.
All right. You lost
Now-
me.
Right? This is where it gets weird. All right, here's the story of Andy Kaufman. Nobody knows if he's dead.
What?
See, we know that he had cancer. We know that there was a funeral. We don't know if he's dead.
So there may not be a body in that coffin.
There may not be a body in that coffin, but there is a gravestone. And it's taking up a spot in a cemetery somewhere.
With no body, possibly.
Possibly.
Empty
and
box.
Man on the
Or a
Moon.
hobo body.
Correct. Or somebody else's body.
And Man on the Moon, at the very end of the movie, if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry, I'm about to spoil it for you, but
Spoiler alert.
you need to see the film just to understand this whole portion of it. So Tony Clifton is up on stage, and his pal, who's played by Paul Giamatti, realizes something while he's sitting there. Because he had just done with Andy's funeral, and everyone was trying to feel like everyone's still trying to get over it. But then he starts smiling and laughing as Tony is standing up there. And it's just
Eerie.
it's eerie. So he is going to be in this film, and all I can think about is this the moment he finally comes out?
And not of the closet.
Not of the closet, out of the
The
grave.
closet of death.
Out of the grave.
I invite everybody to watch this just
Alright.
to see what happens.
I need a little background I need to watch something else before I watch this.
We'll have a discussion
All right.
about Andy Kaufman because
All right.
you would actually really enjoy Man on the Moon. That's something I will recommend. I have the top 3 of my Jim Carrey, and that is like number 2 on the list. Number 1 being, of course, the most amazing Truman Show. Never seen Truman Show?
No.
You've never seen The Truman Show?
No.
We might have to have a Jim Carrey
Oh
night.
my god. Pet Detective?
Yes.
Oh, Lord. That's like number 40 on my list.
Yeah, but everyone's seen it.
Exactly.
You gotta throw her one.
Yeah, and Bruce Almighty.
And The Mask.
I really love Fun with Dick and Jane.
Okay, I saw that one.
Yes.
That's a good one. That's my number 3.
That's my number 1.
Oh,
one.
dang.
That's a strong one. That's strong.
It's brilliant.
Other than
Indicted!
Okay, go. Other than that, I highly recommend Manhunters. Really great on Netflix. We finally watched it. Really, really good. Makes you really question your
That's the
life.
second time you've
I've
recommended
it,
that.
and I will recommend it every single time.
Oh my gosh, he's strong
It's
about
real
this.
I'm
good.
strong.
Leonard
Of course.
Strong, starting that hashtag.
Hashtag Leonard Strong.
Just think it'd be great.
All right. Anyway, so I think we've rambled enough. This is probably the longest one we've ever done.
For Brazil.
So
We got a little off track.
we got a little off track. It's fine. It's all over the place, but it's always fun when Alena's here.
Oh,
So
thank you.
Thank you again for showing up. We're just going to make you a permanent part of our team.
Oh my
so
gosh.
welcome to
Aw,
Director Review.
Well, thank you.
Woo!
Where's the popcorn?
We have no popcorn for you. You have to bring your own because you're part of the team.
I brought Chinese.
Tonight.
Okay, that's true. All right, so thank you all once again for downloading our podcast now over 100 times.
Wow.
For all of your likes and shares and wonderful
Ears.
listening ears. Yes. So
Thanks for putting us in your ear holes.
thank you for just don't eat the eye hole man's eye holes.
I'm
Rick
sorry?
and Morty? Rick no?
Oh.
Have you never seen Rick
I'm
and
the eye
Morty?
hole. Okay, anyways, we'll
No,
worry about that later.
and the burger ones either. I haven't seen the hamburger. Bob's Burgers. Ham's Burgers.
Burgers. Literally.
You know, the last time I watched Cartoon Network was...
Not on Cartoon
sucks.
See, right there.
Oh, see, I thought it was an Adult Swim cartoon. That's
No,
how much I
no.
don't watch.
Yeah, we're very serious about Bob's Burgers in this house. Anyways, I've been
right.
trying to wrap this up for the last 5 minutes, so... So thank you again to everyone. Thank you, Celeste, for being with us once again.
It's always a pleasure.
She lives here, so it's fine. Alena, thank you. Obviously, we'll hear from you again soon.
Absolutely. I live down the street.
Yep.
Practically that random neighbor that just pops in whenever.
Works perfect for us. So, Lucy, Ethel, let's have a good night. We'll talk to everyone later. And remember, keep on streaming, find those good shows, and find out if Andy Kaufman is actually dead. So, we'll talk to you later.
We need the
and,
records.
We need the records. We need the dental records.
Yeah.
We need the JFK files.
Oh boy. No, I had to get before that happens. All right. Talk to you later. And remember, have a great whatever time it is that you're listening to us. See you.